What if today I strip you of all the things that define you or are your characteristics? What if I take away the fancy car that you drive, the expensive house that you've built, the amazing job that you have, the career that you worked so hard for? What if I take those things away from you? Will you crack like a glass falling on the floor? Or will you still be able to be the same person around all your friends, your family, and others in society? Namaste, everyone. How's it going? So I want to ask you guys a question today, and most probably I will leave this video with a question. I want to introduce something to you guys which is an amazing and fascinating concept, and it is something that makes us feel like we are the masters or controllers of our own life, whereas the truth is that that thing is our master. All right, I'm not going to dive deep into the concept today. I'm going to introduce you guys to it and let you guys mull over it for a while, think about it, take your time, understand it. I'll give you guys a suggestion at the end of the video, which is an amazing book. Maybe read it, and after a while we'll talk about this again. And this thing which I want to talk about today is called the ego. And this does not mean ego in the traditional sense of the word, not the dictionary meaning. Before I get into explaining what the ego is, I want to ask you guys another stupid, annoying question, which is, do you have a personal code of conduct, a set of rules for your behavior? Like, if I am Sirhud Kalra, do I have a particular set of right and wrong, a particular set of rules to govern how I should behave, or a personal code of conduct? Should I talk like this? Am I talking like this because I think I should talk like this, or because I want to talk like this? So what I'm going to tell you guys is that almost all of us have this particular image in our mind of ourselves, right? So basically, let's say your name is John or Sally or bitch, or let's just take myself, Sirhud. The thing is, in my mind, there is this particular image of who I am. All right. In this big head, there is a small man wearing the same clothes right now. His name is also Sirhud. And he walks, talks, behaves in a certain way, interacts with society in a certain way. And I, the real life expression of that being, am I doing whatever I'm doing because I think that is how I'm supposed to be? That particular image in my mind, it is my ideal of myself. It is basically the kind of person I believe myself to be. So if I believe Sirhud is somebody who's supposed to be a well-dressed guy, or Sirhud is somebody who is, a bit crazy and likes to talk like this, so I behave like that in real life. And another thing which happens sometimes is that external tangibles start affecting this perception of ourselves that we have, such as, let's say, defending feminism, just as a random example, defending feminism seems to be the right thing to do, so even I'm going to do it, because in my mind, my perception of myself is somebody who is always doing the right things, or somebody who always seems to be doing the right things to do, if that makes sense. So in a discussion with friends, do I start defending and supporting feminism, even if I don't have the knowledge about what it really is, what it has become today, any kind of statistics, any kind of research, and I just defend it blindly because emotionally I'm attached to that image that I am somebody who's supposed to be defending and supporting these things because I am a righteous person, and feminism is a righteous movement. I hope you guys are getting the example that I'm trying to give you, that basically, are you behaving according to that image you have in your own mind, or are you behaving by being that image yourself, basically by not having any ideal to match up to be, but just being the motherfucker that you are, expressing yourself, living your life the way that you originally and actually intend to do, rather than trying to match up to that image. So how does this image actually come into existence? This image comes into existence because of a lot of external things, and especially societal conditioning, obviously. But like, let's say how your parents expect you to do, what people or society thinks about your family. So like today, I come from a very esteemed background, but the first thing I spoke about on YouTube was how to lick pussy. My parents thought I was doing porn, and they didn't speak to me for a while. But if I would have been somebody who would have fallen prey to my image that, I belong to such a family, people from this family are not supposed to be like this, blah, 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 I would not have been able to express myself and be true to myself and actually live the life that I intended on living. So basically for today, I just want to introduce you to this concept of all of us having this 3D perception and image of ourselves, like a miniature self walking in our heads, who's dictating the way we should live life. And I just want to ask you, is this happening with you? Do you think people live their life like that? Or do you think I'm just bullshitting? Because when I came across this concept, I realized, holy shit, this is holding me back from so much more that I'm fucking capable of. This is not allowing me to do so many things which I can do and actually benefit from, and even allow other people to benefit from. Because in my mind, that particular image has certain boundaries, it's very rigid. It's very well defined. He does this and he does not do this. This is right for him, this is wrong. And I just feel like that is how I'm supposed to live life. That is how I'm supposed to behave, because that is who Sirhud Kalra is. But the truth is, you can be anyone. You don't have to be that one particular fucking image. Now, obviously, this discussion goes much, much deeper into morality and, ethics and clashes of that in your head. But that is something for another video. For now, I just want to focus on the simple things in life, how you behave around people. Let's say in a coffee shop, there's this rich, bitchy lady having, a designer bag and like super high Valentino fucking heels, and she walks into a Starbucks and treats the fucking barista like shit. And this is just an example. I'm not saying all rich people are like that. I'm just giving an example. Now imagine if I just strip away all of that from her. Her perception of herself and why she behaves like that is because the way her life is, or how her external things, how external factors, how her externalities have impacted her and formed that image in her head. So like, I am a rich person, I can treat other people like shit because that's what rich people do, and that's what she starts doing. But what if one day I just take away everything from her? Will she still behave the same way? Or will now her mindset go from like being here to being here and going like, please can I get a coffee, rather me like, yeah, please can I get a coffee, huh? So I basically want you guys to be the same motherfuckers, whether you're a guy or a girl, and detach yourself from that ego. Not be a slave to that perception of yourself that you have, and act according to it. You start acting however the hell you feel like acting in the moment. And again, this kind of advice is not for everybody. If you're a dumb fucker who feels like you can kill somebody because, oh my god, you feel like that. Actually, I'm not going to say anything. Let people do whatever the fuck they want to do. Because everything comes with a certain set of consequences, be it positive or negative. So I leave that to you. I'm nobody to dictate that. But for now, think about this. Does this make sense, the concept that I'm talking about? Does it make sense that a lot of people start living like that? There are so many people who are just working hard in their fucking jobs and shit like that because they feel like you have to work hard in life and you have to get success. If you're not somebody who's getting success, then you're a useless piece of shit. Whereas there might be somebody who will be very, very happy doing an average fucking 9-to-5 job and just living the basic life. They'll be extremely happy, but they're not letting themselves do that. Why? Because either parents had expectations, family had expectations, or their friends look up to them that, oh, this is a high achiever, he can do well. They can be somebody who will be fucking smart and have a lot of potential to achieve. But if that motherfucker just likes to lie down in bed and watch porn at night and in the day do a stupid fucking clerical job and then come home, fuck the fat wife, go to sleep, what's the harm? Why should his perception of himself or his ego come in the way of being whoever the hell he wants to be? And this is an ugly truth of life, that most people actually live their life by being a slave to their own perception that they have of themselves. Hopefully that can change with time. So a simple way to figure out if the image that you have of yourself in your mind, is that really you? Is that really your reality or not? Is by simply just pausing before you do things especially major or minor decisions about life, and ask yourself that, am I doing this because I really want to do this? Like, is my self really aligned to this? Or am I doing this because I feel like I'm supposed to be doing this? Like, I feel like I'm supposed, being the key word here to emphasize on, that is this the thing that I should be doing? Or is this the thing that I want to do? Asking that question can make it very easy for you to figure out, are you the slave or are you the master? So there's something which I'm going to bring in over here, which is called sunk costs. And sunk costs are basically something which don't allow you to do something called course correction. So if you ask this kind of question to a real life being, the one which I just spoke about, that example of somebody just wanting to be an average Joe, fuck off at 5 and go to sleep after watching porn. If you actually ask this to some guy who exists like this in reality, chances are he'll probably deny it. And he won't accept it, even if he knows it. Because he has spent too much time living that fake life and serving the master, that now he's comfortable serving the master. He's comfortable being the slave. And he cannot break out of his comfort zone. So a lot of people you will actually find lying to themselves about being the masters of their own life and going like, oh yeah, I'm happy. Oh, I'm an independent woman. Or, oh, I'm a god, blah, 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 blah. Same people end up with a fucking cat alone, unhappy and pissed off at like people just passing by their fucking house. Anyway, this is going too deep into my own head and my own imagination and examples. So fuck that. Get your own context. Hopefully you can understand what I'm saying. And tell me, engage with me. Tell me, is this making sense or not? Tell me, do you witness this around you or not? Did I just make you realize this about yourself or not? Am I right or not? Is there another way of looking at this or not? Tell me, because I am here to learn. I'm giving all of this out so that somebody can correct me. I'm not giving all of this out so that somebody can follow me. All right. Another thing I want to do is invite all of you to read a particular book that originally introduced this concept to me, or like once I read this book, this concept kind of took birth in my head. And the book is called The Wisdom of Insecurity. And I think it's by Alan Watts. And I'll put the link in the description. Check out the book if you're interested in learning more about this. Take some time, formulate your own concept, and then we're going to hit the topic of ego again, because you'll hear me a lot in the future mentioning ego, referring to ego, talking about ego. So check the book out if you want. Listen to this video again if you want. Share it with your friends. Have a discussion about it if you want. All right. Have a conversation with me if you want. I'm always up for it. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.